Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Well, it feels so good to be saying this, me sitting down prim and proper doing this. It's been a while we've done this, okay? So if you're new here, you might not really understand. Anyways, you're welcome. Thank you for joining me on my channel today. My name is Kemi and I am a Nigerian living in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. If you're a returning subscriber, you know now, you know how we do it. Thank you so much for always coming back every single time. For my new subscribers, or for people who is just clicking on this video, they've not decided maybe they want to subscribe or not, trust me, at the end of this video you'll be convinced and you will say, I need to subscribe to this channel. Okay, all right. So most times I film about just lifestyle here in Canada, just showing you how I'm enjoying life, how you can enjoy life too. I share tips and tricks about how to settle in here in Canada, and also sometimes when I get tips or when I get to speak with some very some certified people like consultants, immigration consultants, I also bring them on this channel. So please check my previous videos. I'm sure you'll find something that speaks to you. Okay, so before I get into the video of today, please do not forget to give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe if you're yet to. If you're still thinking, please subscribe first, okay? Turn on post notifications, drop a comment and let me know your feedbacks, okay? Thank you so much. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about those few things you need to do in the first few weeks. In fact, the first 1 week when you land in Canada. Now, this does not apply only to Manitoba because I'm in Manitoba. It applies to other provinces or other cities you might be going to. So this cuts across all, okay? So let's talk about the first few things you need to do during the first 1 week of your arrival in Canada. So welcome back, guys. Now the first thing you need to do, in fact, the first thing you need to do the moment you arrive in Canada. Now the journey to Canada begins at the port of entry, either Toronto or Montreal, depends on where your flight took you through, or depending on the first Canadian province that you landed to, okay? So your port of entry, it can be Toronto or it can be Montreal, right? So the first thing you need to do is get on your knees and say, thank you, Lord, for bringing you to this land. Kemi, you play too much. Yes, that's the first thing you need to do. Depending on your religion, depending on what you believe in, thank whatever you believe in. But for me, I thank God that I'm here. Okay, so now at the point of entry, let's get serious now, guys. Let's get serious. Kemi, be serious. Okay, the first thing you need to do is that when you're approaching the officer, the immigration officer and all that, if you're a permanent resident, you probably already got your confirmation of permanent residence in the mail alongside with your passport and all of that. So they will request for that because there are some things they need to put on it, there are some things they need to write on it, okay? Also for students, you are only coming with your visa, your student permit, your work permit, everything will be settled at the port of entry. Now I've seen cases of someone, or I've read about someone who going for a social insurance number was told to go back to the port of entry because those guys missed something. Okay, now you do not totally have control over that, but just have that in mind that the journey begins at the port of entry, okay? And also begins with the type of questions they're going to be asking you. Later in the future, I'm going to be doing a video just giving you an idea of kind of questions they might ask you at the port of entry. So the next thing you need to do, you have left the airport, you have rested, you have adjusted a little bit to the change in, change in timing. For me, my body took a while to adjust because it was about 6 hours difference at that time. Yeah, it was 6 hours difference. So when it was night, when I would normally prepare to go to bed in Nigeria, here, it was like still day. I was like, what's happening? My body, I couldn't understand what was going on in my body, right? So after you've gone through all of that stage, now the first thing you need to do, guys, is to get a SIM card. Yes, get a SIM card. Now I will give you an advice. Please do not get your SIM card in the airport. Now the reason why I say so is that you will see a lot of providers at the airport, people saying give you this offer, they'll give you that offer, this is that offer. You really do not know what they offer until you speak to someone who has been here already, right? You might say, oh, I got this offer, it's a really good offer. In your mind, it is good. But trust me, you would see that there are better offers than that. Also, another thing you want to check is that the signal I don't know if that's the word right now, but whosoever you're coming with, or whosoever you're going to be living with, or whosoever is receiving you, would better advise you that, okay, go with this, go with that, because they've probably used it for years. They understand which one is cheaper and how, just what they offer, right? Generally. So our advice, do not get your SIM card at the airport. So the second thing you want to do after SIM card is to get your social insurance number. Now that is very essential. Everyone needs a social insurance number. Whether you're a PR, you're an international student, you are coming on a work permit, whatever the case may be. In fact, children get social insurance number. You need that to work. You need that for so many things. That shows that you're a resident of the province that you're in. So to get your social insurance number, you need to go to your nearest Service Canada. Service Canada are the ones that will usually issue a social insurance number. Okay, the next thing we want to talk about, guys, now is opening a bank account. Yes, you need to open a bank account. In fact, how will you even do so many things without a bank account? Yes, you need to open a bank account for two reasons. One, if you're going to get an apartment, you get a job, you get so many things, you need a void check, which you can only get after opening a bank account. Another thing that you need after opening a bank account is that you need a credit card. You need to start building your credit history, your credit score. You need to start. If you do not know, you already probably know, or you should know right now that you need a credit score, or you need a credit history here in Canada. I've heard stories of people who came and they're like, no, I don't like owing debt, I don't like owing money, and they did not get a credit card. You know what happened at the end of the day? Maybe 5 years down the line, and they want to maybe get a house, get a car and all of that. They tell them that, oh, sorry, you did not, you've not built well enough credit history or credit yeah, you're not credit worthy, all those kind of things. So yes, you need to get a credit card, but you need to be responsible with your credit card. Okay, that's a discussion for another video, which I have already, which I'm going to be linking here, where I was speaking to someone who has been here for several years, and he has a whole lot of knowledge about getting a credit card and about the taxing system here in Canada. Okay, so please go watch out that video. Another thing you should note about opening a bank account is that there are different types of accounts, right? There are some that are very well suited for newcomers like us, people like us that, we're just coming to the country newly. There are some that are well suited for students. And you should know that some of these accounts have charges, but they give maybe like 2 years or 1 year of no charges for newcomers. Okay, so you need to do your research and find out which account suits you and which one people around you. Just ask questions. Okay, it's never no one will say you're bothering them. Well, maybe not, but I'm saying please ask questions to know which one you should do. Okay, you can also do, if you do not want to ask anyone, you can walk into a bank and ask about what they have, take notes, go to another bank, take notes. We have maybe how many major banks, maybe like 6 of them. Okay, so you can ask each one of them questions and then go back home and make a decision, but you need that decision to go on to other things. So now, after opening a bank account, what is next? You need to start to activate your insurance. If you're a student, you're already probably covered by the school. Go to your school office, go to the student's office and find out how you can activate your insurance. If you're coming as a permanent resident, you now need to get your health card. So apply through your province and get your health card for yourself and for each of your children, because you never can tell. You might say, oh no, I have strong genes, I am AA, and I do not fall sick and all of that. Please take note that you are changing environment, you are changing from one place to the other, so it might be a little it might weigh a little on your on your health and on your body. Just have the health card, okay, and have you and your family members covered. Okay, all right. So the next thing I want to talk about now is that you need to get a bus pass. You need to move around the city. You need to move around to get a job. You need to move around to get an apartment. So get a bus pass. Now, if you decide to say, oh, I have a lot of money, I can easily take Uber, I can take taxi, girl or boy, it's gonna tell on your bank account, except you came with millions. Yeah, so but even if, why do you want to waste money on such when you can easily get a bus pass? So usually for newcomers, you can get subsidized bus pass, which is 50% of what you will normally pay, what other people will pay who are not newcomers. Okay, that is, if you apply for that bus pass, you can get 50%, at least in Winnipeg. I'm sure of that. If you're coming to Winnipeg, well, you can get something called a Win Pass, whereby You pay 50% of the actual price of your bus. I know students also have a student fare. Students have a student fare. Elders have an elder, like depending on your level, and there are different what's the word now? There are different programs for different groups of people. Yes, I know that. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about after that is that you need to look for a place to live. You need a house. You need to live somewhere. You've been putting up with maybe a family member, a relative, a friend. They might not tell you, but trust me, it's telling on them, especially if they're the one doing all the buying, they're cooking for you, you're eating and all of that. You know what? You need to also start to consider looking for a house. Now, looking for a house does not necessarily have to follow this order. It doesn't mean that you have to do all those things before you start looking for a house. You can start to look for a house even before you arrive, right? You can have people looking for a house for you, but I have a reservation towards that. This is why, in case you do not know, there are some apartments here that have bed bugs. Yes, bed bugs. It is a thing. It is a thing here. In fact, I don't know. I've never seen a bed bug before, and I hope I never see them. But I've had people that I work with that have given me experiences of how all of their things were infested with bed bugs. Okay, so please, you can start checking Kijiji. You can start checking Facebook Marketplace. You can start checking rentals.ca and all of those to start to get an apartment. So if you're someone who maybe came in and put up in an Airbnb, in a week you can start to move around and see things for yourself. See things that, and be sure, verify, because in most cases you might find people getting an apartment for you, right? Because they probably live in the same apartment, or they know someone, or but there are different levels to it. My point is that now it's time for you to look for a place to live, and one of the things you need to consider in looking for a place to live is that it is close to some places. It must be close to a bus station. It must be close to a grocery store or a store, maybe a superstore, a Walmart, a Freshco, a Sobeys, just a store. It must be close. There must be a school in the neighborhood, especially if you have children, a park. Just look at all of those conditions before you get an apartment or you get somewhere to live. So that's also something that you need to know. Now, the next thing you need to do after that is make a list. I remember my own. I remember when we wanted to get an apartment, I had a list. Yes, you need to make a list, guys, because if you do not make a list and you do not plan, you are going to waste a lot of money. Now, there are some things you can buy in a thrift store, online or physical thrift store. We have online stores. We have the Kijiji. We have the Facebook Marketplace. We have the, other thrift store that you can walk into, the Canadian Goodwill. You have the Value Village. You have the Salvation Army. There are so many other ones of them. We also have the ones for children. I know there's once upon a child, that's for children. Okay, there are some things you can get in a thrift store, and there are some things you can buy new. For example, things like kitchenwares you can buy new. I also have a video where I talked about those places where you can buy things. I'm going to link them here. So you have to create a list and know what things you want to buy new and what things you want to buy in a thrift store. It is very important, so you do not waste money. You need to create a budget of how much you want to spend on houses, because once you get into the store, everything is going to be so, oh wow, I love this, it's going to be doing pick me. But guys, nobody is going to know if you live in an apartment that does not have a sofa, or that does not have a chair. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say this, guys. You know how I get real on this channel? For the first 6 or 7 or 8 months, we did not have a bed. Yes, our mattress was on the floor. Who knew? Would you have known if I had told you? No, you wouldn't. So that's what I'm talking about. So take note of that. So the next thing I want to talk about is now talking about your license. License, especially everyone needs to get a license, whether you have a car yet or you do not have a car. Even without having a car, you can get a license. Whatever country you're coming from, you could use your driver's license for the first 3 months. There are some countries where you do not need to apply again and do a road test. You can just convert it. I know people coming from maybe the UK having a UK driver's license. I do not want to speak much of this because I do not have so much information. I do not want to misinform you. But I know if you're coming from Nigeria, where I came from, you can use your driver's license you're coming with for the first 3 months to drive, and then you need to go and register for a knowledge test and then do a road test. Okay, if you do not come with a license, which I did not come, and I suffered for it, you have to wait 9 months after passing your knowledge test before you can take a road test. That sucks. So the next thing I want to talk about is joining a community in your province, in your environment. I know there's Association of Nigerians in Manitoba. There's Association of different cultures or different countries. Yeah, different countries has their own association. Canada is a land of immigrants. They welcome a lot of immigrants. So trust me when I say that if you ask properly, especially if you see someone is from your country, if you see someone is Kenyan, you see someone is Ghanaian, just ask them, is there any association? Trust me, there's a way you can link up with one another. But I also say you should join association, maybe through your church or through your school. Maybe you meet someone in school, just ask them questions, okay? And I'm happy that there are a lot of people that are willing to help you and also help you to stabilize, okay? Ask questions, because also on those groups they might say, oh, they are doing cow meat sharing, or they are doing, if you are someone who is from a family, or there's a food bank, or all those kind of information. Yes, you need to ask. That's how you get to know there's a food bank. That's how you get to know there's a subsidy on this. That's how you get to know, apart from, of course, something like this YouTube video that you're watching, okay? So please get to know one another. Do not be an island. This is not the time for you to stay mute or not to ask questions. Here, if you do not know, you do not know. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Here, it is not the person that knows book that knows things. I'm just gonna leave that. I can't get it. So the next thing I want to say is that while you are moving around, please explore your neighborhood, okay? Now, this is no longer like a to-do list. Yes, but it's also a to-do list. Explore your neighborhood. Explore the nearest police station. Explore how people cross the road. Explore how people, so many things. I remember, I'm just going to share this. I was going somewhere, and then I saw this person. It was obvious that the person just arrived here and she just crossed the road. I don't know if you guys, I think she just literally crossed the road like that. So you need to watch, be observant, be very observant, know your neighborhood, know where you are. If it's where there is a lot of drugs or a lot of, just be very conscious. This is not the time to say, oh, I have arrived in Canada, the land flowing with milk and honey. No. You have to just take note of things, okay? Because you never can tell, right? You just never can tell. So please, this is not the time to relax and ignore everything. Yes, I think I covered it all. Yes. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I gave you some tips and useful tips. Not just tips. I gave you useful tips about those few things you need to do within your first week of arriving in whatever province of Canada you have, okay? Let me know in the comment section if you think I missed out anything, or if you have any questions. If you are here already in Canada, please also drop your points in the comment section. I'm sure there are people that would like to read it, okay? So thank you so much for watching, guys. Until I come your way again the next time, bye.